radio station, using our voice to rate your choice. Stay tuned.
Welcome to 90.8 Hills FM Radio. This is your host RJ Yo, and today I have with me one of the biggest stars of the Nagaland music industry, Psycho K4. His recent singles, Nisumi and Iconic, have already been nominated in the Music Awards of Nagaland, and we will know about the results on 10th of December at the Naga Gala that is organized by the Native Track Society. So first of all, thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Hi, thank you so much for having me as well, Hills FM.
It's a pleasure. So before we go any further, Psycho K4, how did that name came into being?
Psycho K4, first of all, K, it stands for my dad's initial name.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's name is Kutovi.
Okay.
And then 4, it stands for my birth date, 4.
Okay.
So K4 is, we are all here through our parents, so I named that after my dad and my birth date. And regarding Psycho, as in Nagaland or as a middle class boy, chasing dreams, leaving everything behind and chasing our dreams in the music field or either in sports, when you first pursue our dreams, everybody be telling us like, maybe it's not the right decision for you, maybe you are being a fool, but I decided to carry on with my music career. And at that time, everybody was that sort of things, they were saying that sort of things. So, okay, man, let me take that as an inspiration and then myself as Psycho. And, I came up with Psycho K4.
So it was good that you were a psycho. Because especially in Nagaland, it happens a lot wherein if you try to pursue something
indeed.
which is not according to the people normal, they will try to bring you down also. So it's good that you use that, what do you call, frustration or anger towards making into a career. So that's really good. And regarding your life, Psycho, so was it always in the plan that you would be a musician, or there were some other plans as well before that?
Regarding the music and all these stuff, as a kid, it was just like a hobby to me.
Mm-hmm.
But as I grew up, I didn't even really had that particular aim or that thing to pursue music. After my studies, I began to be more interested in music, and then by 2015, I kind of became serious with it. And ever since 2015, whatever I try to be in life, I try to make it as an artist, as a rapper. So my real dreams began back in 2015.
That is so great. So initially when you started out, who was that one musician or musicians who really inspired you?
Since my childhood and since 2015 when I started off my music, I was really much inspired by Green Day.
Mm-hmm.
I was very much into soft punk rock, and then they really inspired me. And during 2015 to 2017, I was only sticking to punk rock.
Okay.
And then by 2018, I met this rapper named G-Eazy.
Mm-hmm.
So till then, I used to perform punk rock everywhere I perform. And then I saw one of his videos, and then I was very much inspired by that song by G-Eazy.
Okay.
So I tried to learn that rap, and then I kind of felt more comfortable with that genre. So I decided to, okay, man, let me just hop into this hip-hop and try something new. And then, the story went on like this.
That is good. So I have actually talked to many people who are like over here, who's really been inspired by G-Eazy.
Why is that?
Yeah. So even he must be like, damn.
Yeah, and like it really been inspiring a lot. As an artist, as a person, I really look up to him.
And like what you said right now, seems like you are the opposite of MGK.
Yeah.
He was a hip hop star. Now he's into punk rock.
Yeah.
You were into punk rock. So regarding the nominations, right, for the Music Awards of Nagaland.
Yeah.
You have 2 songs up for grabs.
Yeah.
Or up for nominations, I could say. How does that make you feel, being nominated?
I've been off from a music scene for a while, and then last year I couldn't submit even a song for the music award.
Okay.
And then maybe just say I'm coming back after 2 years, and I submitted a few of my songs, and after a long time it got nominated. So that vibe of first when I was nominated for music award, I'm getting that vibe again, and I'm very much excited and really looking forward to it.
Okay. And so Are you like that winning mentality, or is it okay? Just being nominated is fine for you?
Of course, I'm pretty much happy and blessed that I could be a part of the nominees. And you know, when we chase something, we all chase it to win it. So for me, I really, I'm really looking forward, but it's all on God's plan. So whatever it will be, I'll be very much happy. If I lose, then of course, man, it's a lesson to be learned as well. So I'll keep working hard. And if I win, then I'll be thankful to God, and I'll try to make more better music again.
That is such a good way to go about it. So among the nominees, anyone that you're scared of?
It's nothing like that. Nothing like scared of or anything, but there are lots of potential and worthy and talented artists. So of course, man, everybody in the nominees, they got nominated because they are good in that particular field. So of course, man, I fear all those nominees, and I know whoever wins, it'll be worth it.
Yes, and I guess more than fear, it would be mutual respect.
Yeah, for
each other's fields, right?
Yeah.
And so, regarding since we have also partnered up with Native Track Society,
all right,
would you also be there on that award?
Yeah.
day?
Actually, I've been called up to perform as well
That
on the
is so
music awards, so I'll be there to perform and also to witness the music award as well.
So, you'll be performing your old songs or anything new on the pipeline?
I'll be performing the song that have been nominated for the music
Okay.
award. That's iconic.
So that is your slot for that day.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and anything new on the pipeline for you?
I don't know. Most of people might not know, but I've been sick and bedridden for a while, so
Okay.
I couldn't continue with any of my projects. So right now there are lots of pending projects, but there's nothing like that particular project which I'm really working right now. But of course there are some stuffs that I've been working on, so I'll continue to working on that.
So, like you said, you were not well and
Yeah,
bedridden, and like you said, most of the people won't know.
Yeah.
So, for example, your listeners, your audience, is it okay for you to share now? As in,
Alright, man.
what happened?
Actually, I had a problem with I've been having my back problem since childhood, and then this time I was giving shows around July and August,
Okay.
and then I feel like my health was not kind of well, but I've been traveling around, so I thought maybe it's just when we're really tired, we feel the backache and all those stuffs. But then it happened to be a bit worse than that, and then since the bone on my hips, it was kind of I don't know, how do I say, like it was displaced or something, and that was the reason I couldn't even walk for 2 months, because we're having other medication, also had the massaging at the same time, for which I couldn't even continue my shoes or shooting. So I just decided to take a break for a while, and then by the grace of God, it's been 2 weeks, I guess, since I've been doing good. So
Yeah, that's so great. But then, yes, first of all, health needs to take the topmost priority.
yeah, for it.
Because, for example, if you cannot stand and walk only,
Yeah.
you cannot be a performer.
Indeed.
Also. And like I was saying, or like you were saying that time, so were you putting in updates of your situation over?
Yeah. Like, I had some shows as well, so I didn't want it to disclose on social media, like I've been sick and this, but people might think it otherwise. So I just decided to open up about my sickness and take a break, and everybody showed a lot of love, prayers, and regards. So I'm also thankful to each and every one of them who've been supporting me even at my lows.
So, what inspired you during that time? As in, when you were bedridden, you had shows that was
Yeah.
cancelled. Obviously, you must have gone through a lot mentally and
Yeah, of
physically
course,
also. So, how did you cope?
The first thing, regardless of my music career, the first thing that struck my mind and I kind of got very much depressed is that there are a lot of differently abled people in this world, and they are born with that, and
Yes.
through their life until their death, they deal with that. And for me, for 2 months, I was bedridden and I couldn't walk, and I was just wondering, like, I started to thinking, if I couldn't walk again, then how I'm gonna be on stage for shootings. I was getting very much depressed, thinking all those stuff, and then I started thinking about those people, and I really felt how they must be feeling, because lots of us, we are blessed with good health, good body.
Yes.
We often forget to thank God for that, and then I realized how blessed and thankful I am, and also at the same time I also learned how those people go through, with all those not only physically, but I realized that they mentally go through a lot too. So first
so
lesson
true.
I learned that, and I realized that we often fail to be thankful to God for the blessings, and suddenly all my friends, my other rappers friends, they were doing all those shows like that and stuff. And of course, man, as a brother, as a homie, I was really happy for them. And I was wondering if I was, if my health was good, then I would have been there with them.
Yes.
By now at least I might not be growing that much, but if our, like you said, health is well, so if our health is good, we can grow at least step by step. And
Yes.
within 2 months, I could have at least make more few steps, but I had to lay back while everybody was progressing. So I was just, very much depressed about that as well.
Okay. And any particular music you were listening to, or whose music were you listening to during that time?
At the time, I got back to 90s vibe. That emotional. I was just listening to MLTR and other stuff. They were really giving me chill vibes.
You must have been going, I won't forget.
That's why. But honestly, me as an artist, of course I stick to hip hop genre. But when it comes to, giving peace of mind music and other stuff, I listen to all songs from 80s and 90s. That really gives me a peace of mind.
That is true. But that is also true in a sense. We always seem to go back to nostalgia.
Yeah, that's
whenever we want comfort.
Yeah.
We might be all hip hop or
Yeah,
like
man, that's
full rock and all that.
Yeah.
Nothing happens, but suddenly something happens and we go back to Westlife.
That vibe, that should be there, man.
That is true. But do you miss those times, the cassettes and the CDs time?
Of course, yeah. When we grew up, we could hardly touch that particular generation.
Yes,
At that time when we were 7, 8, it was gone by that time. And as a kid, I used to watch my brothers and sisters, flexing all those stars, whenever they come back from vacations or anything. So of course, man, I really miss those times.
And nowadays it's so easy to access music.
Yeah.
I remember, like you were saying, during those times, if we wanted to listen, my gosh, it was for example, if from the whole album, if you liked one track,
That's what.
my gosh, kiman rewind korina.
Yeah, man. We'll just pause and also we write down the lyrics. And
Or line by line huni
yeah,
na.
that's man, those are the days.
And then when you had money, you would make a list of all the songs. Go to those shops which
That's
makes
what.
that.
Yeah.
They make that cassette with the 20 songs that you like. Oh,
At the time for us, there was a thing called Walkman, right? Yeah, man,
Oh,
that was
yeah,
like
yeah.
iPhone for us,
It was like the iPod of
Yeah,
our
man,
generation.
for us, it was
Yeah.
like the biggest flex.
Yeah, man. Such a huge thing hanging on our...
Yeah.
And even the headphones would be the cheap
That's
cotton wallet.
something, yeah.
But it was fun.
Of course, it was very much fun, man.
And then suddenly someday when you need it the most, the battery would run out.
Yeah, that's what.
And those were good times. So do you feel like we were talking about this era of music
Yeah,
wherein
yeah.
we had so much fun. Did social media kill it or did social media help music?
Like I said, everything, there are both positive and negative impacts. But for me, I think like the emergence of social media, it was more of positivity for us because as an artist, we do all this advertisement and all this stuff through social media. And the perfect example is right here in Nagaland, Back, just say when our brothers or uncles, they started music here, they didn't have that stage, that promotion.
True.
For them, and all they did was just go to maybe just say perform for free or they like promotion. They never get that stage and opportunity. But right now here, we can make money through social media.
That is
At the
true.
same time, we get the exposure, we get everything. So of course, it depends on how we utilize it. So for me, I think the emergence of social media has been very helpful as a musician.
And that's also true holding for so many people who come up.
Yeah,
Like before social media, they wouldn't even have the platform.
that's what. Yeah.
Nowadays, you can just make a video and post it,
course.
and if it's good, people
Yeah,
will
yeah. That's what.
This exactly what happened to like we were talking before with Slingshot. It was just a random video,
Yeah,
a random
yeah.
song that he shot, and then damn, that won
Yeah,
song
yeah.
of the year for him.
Yeah, that's what.
So that's great. And it's good that you are able to find that positive outlook on social media. So what happens with most of the musicians, they would be like, um, that time was the golden era.
Yeah.
Cassette CDs.
Yeah,
and
indeed.
social media killed the music industry.
Yeah.
In terms of, I guess, yes, physical sales and all, it must have impacted most of the musicians. Like before,
Yeah, of course.
if
For
somebody
them.
wanted to hear your music, they would need to buy
Yeah,
your
yeah,
music.
yeah. That's yeah.
And nowadays,
It's
we
completely-
ourselves upload it for free.
Yeah.
And you have collaborated with many musicians from Nagaland as well.
Yeah.
And so I myself am a particular fan of one of the songs called Fast Lane.
Yeah, fascinating. Yeah.
That's the video is sick and the production is really good. How was it working with Misan and Lamto?
Yes, and then it was very much fun, you know. As an artist, of course, as an artist is talented, but you know, for me, I really look forward to work together as a person. You know, for me, no matter how much a talented a person is, if he's not looking down, you know, if he's not looking back as a person, it's hard for me to work with them. So I really came up and worked with Miyasanen because I feel like even as a person, he's really humble. And also at the same time, it's very fun being around him. You know, this guy, you know, he's filled with lots of fun. So it was very much fun and entertaining working with him because most of my music videos, me and my team, we usually work on some serious music video stuffs. But working with him, you know, it was more like a fun, and you know, I just learned something new from him as well.
And how do you deal with that? Like, for example, when you're making videos and all, you have to look all gangster and all hard, right? What is the process behind it?
We just like any other musician, we just follow the script and everything made by our directors. So we just stick to that, you know. In real life, I could be a sweet person, but on music video, I have to stick to the script and play the direction. So you know, we have to do that.
That is good. And like I was saying, when you collaborate with so many artists and all, right?
Yeah.
Any particular favorites that you have? Or like, is there any stories which you would like to share, which was fun or like just weird, if you could tell?
There's my friend Sudu Rex. He's under right now. He's signed under the label of Tenacious. So Sudu Rex, and I think he's the first rapper I've known in the music industry.
Okay.
And back then it was 2000. I guess it was around 2015 or 16. And at that time I didn't know what rap was. And by that time he was already rapping, and we used to have a chat on social media. You know, sometimes, bro, let's make music together. Let's make music videos, songs together. And then as years went on, you know, we started working together with music, and at the same time we started getting small opportunities where we get to perform and also make music videos together. So of course there are a lot of collaborations that I really respect, appreciate, and had fun working with. But Sudurex and I, we've been there before even it happened. You know, we used to make all those plans, and then finally we are still on our way up, but then finally making up to some extent that we made plans. You know, I feel really good looking back collaborating with Sudurex.
Okay. And like you were saying, you started out from punk rock, right?
Yeah.
So anything that is you're looking forward to in the future, as in making a song like that genre or just infusing hip hop with it?
Of course, I've been thinking of that maybe 2-3 years back, and I've been trying to make, but I don't know, maybe ever since I came into hip hop, everybody needs inspiration when they work. And I've been thinking of that to make one good punk rock song, and I've been working on that, but I don't know, maybe I'm still lacking some inspiration or something.
Okay.
So I've been working on that, but still I haven't made it. I haven't completed that particular work. But
Okay.
I hope so. I can make one someday, you know.
And right when we're talking about this, anything that you are willing to experiment with in terms of your music?
In terms of music, there are lots of things, that we can really modify along with the rap. And as of me, like I said, like you said, I just wanna mix up with that punk and the rap, you know, if that could happen. And also at the same time, we work with different artists, so any type of genre, anything, I'm always down to work and try something new.
That is great. We'll just be taking a break at this moment. And at this break, I'll play Psycho K4 songs, which are Nisumi and Iconic, and which are nominated for the Music Awards of Nagaland as well. So I'll make you listen to these two songs, and once the songs are over, we'll get back right to the interview. Stay tuned.
a lot of time, but I try to work on that as well. But when it comes to my own creativity, my own idea, it doesn't take time to make a song.
That is quite great. Okay, so Psycho, any artist that you wish to collaborate with in the future, be it from Nagaland or anywhere else?
I've really been looking forward to lots of artists, that's been coming up. But as of now, a lot of people have been wanting to let Jepolen and me collab in the future.
Oh yes.
And JP and I, we've been making plans, but we couldn't come to an end with some particular topic. So we're still discussing about that. But for my next project, hopefully looking forward to work with Jepolen. And also there's a female artist, Tumsu Clover. So we are of different genres, but I really like her music, So hopefully, if time permits, and would like to perform with, I would like to collaborate with Tumsu Clover as well.
Oh yes, and those two have. Acha, they are already together in one song.
Yeah.
With
They've been with me
Mason
and
and
yeah.
Years gone by.
Yeah.
That sounded good. And yes, JP and yours flow would intertwine actually nicely.
I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but we've been getting a lot of positive comments and feedbacks from people to let us collab and all that stuff. And we've been talking about it last time as well. So let's look forward how it's gonna be.
You should. I am looking forward to it.
Thank you, man.
And like you said, you were very busy. You were working, right?
Yeah.
So you must be doing a lot of live shows as well.
Yeah.
So this I actually asked to almost every musicians out there. Do you have any rituals before you get on the stage? Is there a process you follow?
Physically, I don't do all the stuff, but spiritually, I always need my mom's prayer. And every time I go out, before I go out of my house, I always let my mom pray for me. And even after reaching the venue, before I go up on stage, I just call up my mom and let her pray for me. So that's my ritual, I guess.
You're such a good gangster, man. And yeah, that is your ritual. Everybody has something, and that is good. That is really good. So, for example, just you get that sense of peace or something when she prays for you.
When she sometimes she be busy with her works, and when she's not physically with me, she even pray for me through the phone. But I feel much confident, much better when she lay her hands on my head and pray for me. So that gives me more boost, more confident, and I believe my shows be lit and success because of my mom's prayer.
That is such a good thing to hear, and somebody appreciative of his mother, and then obviously appreciative of his father, because the name itself is there in your name. So that is such a good thing to do. Do you recall maybe the first time that you got a show, and like how was it, and how was the nerves?
I got one funny story regarding that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I won't say that particular organizer's name, since it will leave negative impact on them. But I guess it was back in 2016. I won't even say where the venue was, but there was one place where I performed. And then at that time, I was only looking for the promotion as a new artist coming up. I was looking for the stage for opportunity. And I guess you have an idea, right? Back when the currency was changing at that time by Modi. Yeah, at that time. So it was at that time when I performed. It was on December.
Okay.
So I performed for them, and they gave me an envelope.
Okay.
That was the first envelope I ever had in the palm of my hands through my music.
Okay.
And then I got one very much heavily. I told my mom that I got my payment finally, and then I took it out, and it was a whole note of 500, that all currency. I had to go to the bank next day just to change that.
My gosh. First money, and then
all currency.
Oh, wait, but yeah, that was such a crazy time, no, when that first happened.
Yeah, man.
Could you tell me about the experiences during the demonetization time? How did it affect you? And were you like so frustrated that you even wrote a song?
It was nothing like that regarding all these issues. Of course, our family, our relatives, they were pretty much facing problem because of that currency change and everything. But as of me, I was still young at that time,
Yeah.
spending money of my family. So for that, I was very much carefree in it, just to be honest. But if that happens right now, I'll be very much pissed.
They say you don't feel the pain unless the money comes out.
That's
of your
what,
pocket.
yeah.
So like that, we have talked regarding your first performance or like your ritual, right?
Yeah.
Which or where or what has been your best experience till now performing live?
I don't know how the audience feel it, but every time I give my show, I always try to give my best.
Mhm.
But for me personally, I think the best show I ever saw for was in Bangalore.
Okay.
The crowd was very much lit. It was in 2000. I think it was last year or last year,
Mhm.
either 2020 or 2021. So the crowd was very much lit, and I've always explained the crowd scream when we perform as an artist. But right there at Bangalore, that was the first time where the crowd was chanting "Psycho, Psycho," and I was getting goosebumps, and I was over.
That chant is from
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
song also.
Yeah.
So it's
In
from
Miss
there.
Me, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So as an artist, we really work hard to have that interaction and to have that relation with
Mhm.
the audience, and then audience giving that kind of response, chanting your name, having fun. I think, man, that's the best kind of feeling, regardless of whatever we're going through our personal life. When we go up on stage and when the audience give that love, we forget everything for a while.
True. And must have been such a hair-raising experience, right?
That was
So
really
many people
fun,
chanting your
yeah,
name.
man.
If it was me, I'd be like, okay, once more.
Yeah.
That's great. And so, like you said at the start itself, everything has two sides.
Yeah.
What has been your worst experience?
When it comes to live shows
Mhm.
or as in
In terms of live shows?
terms of
Like,
live
has
shows.
there ever been a moment wherein you have made a mistake and how did you cover it up?
I mean, most of the time, I don't perform cover songs. I do my originals.
Mhm.
But the thing I like the most is that I often forget the lyrics time to time.
Mhm.
Not that lot of words, but just some few words. I often mistake on that. So I just try to cover up with random words, or I just try to make a melody out of it when I go playing.
Oh,
So
that's good.
that's it. And when it comes to experiencing live shows, right now I've been learning from a lot of artists from Nagaland, for example, like Alobo
Mhm.
or maybe some other big artists. And when we started recording their payments, people, they finalize some payments and they don't even do that at the end of the show, or they either bargain all this stuff. And ever since this year onwards, in order to avoid any misunderstandings, because I've already experienced that, and we give lots of our time,
Yes.
we give lots of our energy, we travel around for them, and at the end of the day, when they do that, of course, we are not only doing it for the money, but we have to feed ourselves too. And when they do that, we feel bad as well.
True.
And when we feel bad at something, something bad happens to that people or that particular people person as well,
Mhm.
because they know that they intentionally hurt someone. So this year I've dropped a lot of shows as well. I had some shows on November as well, even though I was sick, but I was sick as well, but I just decided to turn down the shows just to avoid all those misunderstandings, because when people are not being specific and clear about things, it's better not to work together.
Mhm. And like regarding your shows and all, do you handle the organizers directly or?
Yeah, I just handle with them, or there's a friend of mine,
Mhm.
if I have to do shows out of the state, he handles for me.
Mhm.
But here in Nagaland, I just handle it myself with the organizers.
Okay. And this career must be making you travel a lot also.
Yeah, I mean, just for example, as a kid growing up, who would have thought that I'll just be flying on a plane someday, through this music, and it really feels good doing some things which I didn't even thought of. Me being our life is it's like between the middle class and poor class. I don't know what's our financial status, but
Uh-huh.
for us to travel around like that, it's not on our hands.
Mhm.
But through this music, I had the opportunity, I had the chance, so I'm very much thankful to God, and I'm really blessed, honored that I could be in the music scene.
That is good. And you do sound very humble and down to earth. regarding the
you.
talks that you're saying and closely associated with your family.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So, like I just said, this makes you travel, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That means away from your home a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So initially, when you were doing that, was there any form of homesickness?
Of course, man. We have 5 of us in our family,
Mhm.
and then 4 of us they are already married, and I'm
Okay.
the last one with my mom.
Mhm.
And it's like mom and me, we stick together 24/7.
Mhm.
So forget about going out of state, man. Even if I go to Koima or Zimbabwe to perform shows and everything, just for 2 or 3 days, I just start missing her a lot.
Hey, we are same in that matter, man.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what I do, no.
That's all. Yeah,
This
that's all.
lady has to be beside me always.
For real, man. And my dad, he passed away back in 2013, and
Okay.
ever
Sorry to
since
hear
I've
that.
been very much close with mom.
Mhm.
And as a person, as a youth, I've been growing up, and there are a lot of things I cannot share with people or to my family. And at times, there were a lot of times where I even felt like giving up and all this stuff. But then, I've been doing this for my mom, and me giving up or me giving away my life just cause I'm going through some depression and stuff, I feel like that would be so wrong of me. And then I just think of my mom, and till here, I should say that my mom, she's the reason I've been working hard, and I've been waking up to see another day just because of her.
That is such a good thing to hear and listen to, and I'm sure people listening, you will gain so many fans man after this. Seriously, that is so great. Okay, and so could you tell me, as in, how do you write music, or what is your creative process?
All right, when it comes to composing and writing songs, lots of artists or rappers, they have their own ways of making music.
Mhm.
And as of me, mostly I happen to write songs when I'm alone, or my interview today is kind of being very much depressive stories, but
Nah.
but for me, actually, I make most of the music when my life is just upside down,
Mhm.
and I feel like I make much better music when I'm like that. And making music is also my remedy when I'm depressed, or when I'm going through a lot of stuff, or just when I'm going through heartbreaks.
Yeah. So
So,
how many heartbreaks have you had till now?
man, I've had a lot of heartbreaks, but this year one of the heartbreaks was a lot for me.
And how many
Although I
heartbreaks-
got sickness as well, so like I said, it was very much depressing year for me.
Mhm.
But coming back to the point, when it comes to making music, I'm not like that artist, who make all the song at once. For me, I have to slowly work on that. I take my time, and then there are times where I get the melody or the lyrics when I'm just listening to other music or those stuff. So as soon as I get that particular melody or lyric, I just write down, or maybe I just record a melody, and I slowly try to work on that, and I try to amplify more structure to that, and I try to complete a song. And if people there of course there are a lot of people who haven't heard my music, but those people who hear my music, they know that most of my songs are mostly based on my life. So like I said earlier, I write most of my songs when I'm going through some problems. Sometimes I write a song, and then I look at it, and then I look at the structure, and then it's ending up with very much negative lyrics,
Okay.
because I'm writing it when my heart is scarred. So I write it down, I keep it, and then I try to end it with some positive words, like, it's okay, I know what you're going through, but you can work it out, you can make it out. So like I said, that's the way I progress my works. First I write up something, I look at it, and revelate that particular project, and after making it, I try to listen on the perspective of others, and I try to listen to that, and if I have to make any changes, I make more changes to that. And also regarding this, when I was sick, like I said, I had some projects that was on pending, so I've been working on that as well, and hopefully next year by January, February, I can complete all the stuff, and I can finally let the listeners give a listen to it as well. And alright. And like any other artist, I write most of my songs, like I said earlier, I write most of my songs when I'm alone, or just when I'm out or around with friends or anybody. As an artist, we get inspiration anytime, anywhere. So when the lyric hits or when the melody hits, we gotta be very much prepared for that. Because by the time we reach home, we often forget. We think that they will be in our head for a while, but when we reach home, we often forget that. So I try to write up or try to catch the melodies whenever I can. And being, like I said, through my life experiences, or maybe when I'm going around with people, and also to make some positive songs. The thing that gives me so much peace and relief is the nature, the rain, the wind, or the cloud. It always gives me peace of mind, even when I'm going through a lot as an artist or as a person. So during that time, I get a lot of peace of mind, and at the same time, at that time, I get lots of inspirations. So that's how I look forward on making my music.
So, do you find yourself going into the woods, the jungles to write something sometimes, or it's just like?
Of course, here in Dimapur, when I'm doing a lot of shows or when I'm going through a lot of stuff, I just go back to my hometown. My hometown is Akulto town. It's under Nimboto district.
Okay.
So I'm a proud citizen of Akulto town.
That's
so
cool.
Every time I need a break, I just go back to my hometown. I take a week break and I try to go out with my friends there and just, gain more peace of mind and gain more inspiration, and also at the same time give myself time to reevaluate myself again.
And then recharge your batteries as
yeah,
well.
Yeah, of course.
And like when you were talking about your creative process, so at the start, do you want the beats, or first you are done with the structure and the lyrics?
When it comes to that, the first baby step I take is the beats. I just go to YouTube. I just play some random beats. I just lay on my bed. I play some random beats, and if I like that, I just take the sample of that beat, and then I try to make a melody first. I try to just mumble some melody, and then I record that. I keep it, and then when the lyric is, I try to add to the melody, and then if the lyric doesn't fit, I try to change the words and all those stuff. So my first step is to get a sample beat from YouTube, and then I try to mumble a melody, and then I write up the lyrics, and then I try to find a proper structure, proper word for that.
So and again, when we are on the same topic, for you typically, how long does it take? For example, a particular track.
To make a song, most of the time I take five days, or just most probably a week to make a song. But it depends on what topic I'm doing. If it's from my heart, I even take a day or two to just complete it. But there are a lot of people who give us a lot of ideas and to expand our creativity. So when people give ideas, it's out of my field, so it takes me.
So like you said, you first listen to the beats or the sample of it, so that you can find a melody, and then you can get the lyrics, and then once it's all done, then that's your complete process of writing the music, right?
Yeah.
And like we are in Nagaland, so in terms of beats, when you want it, who do you approach, or how is the process? Like, do you make your own beats, or how is it?
I don't make my own beats, and when it comes to producing beats, there's my brother Naga Beats. So most of my songs, it's been made by Naga Beats. I just, like I said earlier, I find samples from YouTube, and then I make a melody, and then I just record a sample of it, and I send it to him, and he make the beats accordingly to my flow and my melody, and that's how we've been working. And also my second producer, it's Ketmet from Koima. So some of my songs were made by him, and I'm also looking forward with few projects with Ketmet and also Naga Beats.
Okay, and Naga Beats, it's like he is the backbone of the hip hop community over here in Nagaland.
Yeah, man. Actually, he's a guy, in every field, there's a guy who's always behind the scenes with some masterpiece. So when it comes to music awards and everything, there are a lot of artists who've been winning hip hop and all those stuff. And most of the songs, it was made by Naga Beats.
That is so good. So we've been talking anyway. Obviously, you're a musician, and we have been talking too much about music and the process behind it. Are there hobbies or interests that you have outside of music?
Outside of music, I'm very much interested volleyball. every time I get free time, I just go out with my friends, play volleyball with them, and suddenly I like going to places like I've been saying this over and over again, but going to the nature place and everything gives me a vibe. So I go out with my friends on the ride. I go anywhere, let it be anywhere. If the view is great, we just sit by, have some good times. It's just like that.
It is great. So, volleyball, are you the spiker or the smasher?
I'm a setter.
That is great. And for example, if you were not a musician, like a rapper, what would you be doing?
I often think about that, and I honestly, I don't have any idea regarding that, man. Maybe I could have been doing some job at some office or something if it wasn't a rap.
Oh, that's so great. So, like it was always music that you wanted to do.
As a kid, everybody have their own dreams, but with time, ever since I started this music, I've been very much dedicated to this, and the only thing that I give my whole heart when it comes to other works, I'm very much lazy, either at home or any other social work or anything.
Okay.
But when it comes to music, I just become much productive and energetic, and I feel like maybe I'm really meant for this, and I pray to God for that, because there's a saying, right? Maybe God might have some other plans, but if we really want something and if we keep praying to Him, He bless that to us. And I really do pray to God to bless me through this music.
I think your morals and your principles are set right.
Thanks
Family,
so much.
God, music that you are grateful for. Yeah, it's all the recipe for a very successful career ahead.
As an artist, as a person, my family plays a vital role. And, as an artist, we go and socialize with a lot of people. And there are people who think that I got a lot of friends, but it's such a sad story to confess, but I don't really even have much friends. And I'm okay with that, because as a teenager, as a youngster, I've learned a lot of lessons. Maybe there were times I couldn't be a better friend for people. And at times, they weren't being able to live up to the same hype as me, the same energy I give them. And at the end of the day, it is me or it is you who feel that hurt, not being able to live up to the expectations of people, and also at the same time having that expectations and people not being able to live up to that. Sometimes even our family hurt us, right? So
Yes.
man, those strangers, those we meet on our journey, why one day hurt us, maybe not intentionally but unintentionally. So I keep less friends, and I think that's very much peaceful, man. Having less friends, like there are not much people who really knows about me, and I feel good. I feel better that way, and I have few friends, but those friends, they are very much they are people who is focused on their goals, who is clear about their visions, and sometimes I lack a lot in mentally. I lack a lot. Sometimes I started thinking maybe I should give up all those stuffs.
Okay.
But looking at my friends working out, I get that inspiration, and I gotta say that, I had a lot of friends, but at the end of the day, I started losing friends. But I gotta admit that I end up with the right people, and it feels good to have those 2 or 3 friends around me.
Anyway, the one who stays are the realists.
Indeed, man, so true.
Because anyway, the ones who stays basically means they are, or they will always be by your side.
Of course, yeah.
And so Psycho, I've heard you talk, and I've heard you shared your stories and how you have come through or been through,
Yeah.
and how you write your music and all, which clearly shows that music has always been kind of an escape for you,
Yeah, man, that's true.
right?
Yeah.
And couple that with nature and good friends.
Yeah,
That is your recipe
for
for a good song and a remedy as well
Of
to
course.
all your problems, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you feel is the best thing that you're a musician? So, what do you feel is the best thing about being a musician? And what are the values and blessings that you would like to say it comes with?
All right. The first thing that inspires me the most, being blessed as an artist, is that when we make good music or when we make some particular inspiring song, there are youngsters, there are a lot of kids who often DM me saying my song inspired them or all this stuff. And there are some few kids who looks up to me, they DM me, they try to keep every updates of what I do. And when they are being like that, when they are looking up to me, sometimes as a person, how do I just say, sometimes as a person, if I would have not been in the music, then I would have comfortably be doing things I shouldn't have been doing. But those kids looking up to me, I always have that mentality in my head. Whatever I do, I should always be careful with my words, the words I say, or maybe the songs I make. I don't know if people notice that, but till 2019, I had some few slangs in my songs as well. But then there were kids who were performing my songs, and I'm looking at them, and they're like, using those slangs, I really didn't feel good about it. And then I realized that if I'm really trying to be an inspiration, then I should first better myself. In that way, if we are being better as a person, then we can make better music. And that's what I try to do. When they text me up and all the stuff, that inspires me a lot. And they are not, for me, they're like a blessing to me, because they might be thinking in that sense, but for me, they are giving me inspiration instead. They are giving me inspiration to me to be a better person, to watch how I step, to watch how I talk, and also to re-evaluate everything, where I'm lacking and all that stuff. So the first thing that I gain through this music is to better myself and be a positive inspiration to youngsters. And also, secondly, there are times where we face family issues, friendship, relationship issues, or whatever issues. As soon as I go up on stage, for a minute, for just say for 5 or 10 minutes, everything, it feels like it just drags out from my chest. So the second thing that I gain from this music is that relief when I'm being very much depressed over some things. And also, I want to convey some message to the people as well, that being an entertaining being as an artist, we are never perfect, and we could have been just before getting up to the stage, I could be dealing a lot in my head, a lot of problem. But as soon as I go up on the stage, I should have that cheerful face, that smiling face, and it's not really easy, but
the show must go on.
The show must go on. And when people show love, like I said earlier, everything just vanishes. It feels like we're at some, peaceful place or somewhere where we feel more of ourselves. So that's how music have been helping me a lot. A lot of confidence, lot of positivity when I'm lacking things. So
and love, appreciation.
That's how music have been impacting my life, and it feels really good, man.
And that's good. Like you said, those kids performing or sending you DMs. It gave you a sense of responsibility.
Yeah, that's right. Because I make a song that's if I make a song that talks about the drugs, drinks, or just nudity or sex or anything, and if they are youngsters, if I see them performing that, it'll be even if I'll be that way, then there'll be a special place for me in hell, and I don't want to do that, As long as I'm living, I just want to give that positive impact to youngsters, so that when they're performing, when they're performing my songs or when they're playing my songs, and when I hear it or when I watch them, I just want to be proud, I made that song and people are listening to it, I'm thankful. I want to have that feeling.
That is so great. And again, see, I was right. Talking to you, music is your escape.
Yeah.
And your morals and your values are like actually set in the very right direction. But then, again, we'll go back to that thing wherein you said two sides. So obviously, this has been a blessing and it has given you so many things.
Yeah.
what also is the drawback of being a musician?
To be frank, right now, somehow I couldn't manage myself to put limitations to everything I do.
Mhm.
But when I first started this, gaining that little bit of fame and everything, at times,
Got to your head?
yeah, man. It's not even, maybe as a person, I think that I'm not being a prideful person, but
Mhm.
in front of God, we often fall down. And not only in front of God, but even as a person, when that fame and everything, it comes to you, you started losing your ways. You might not be drinking, you might not be into drugs, you might not be into girls, but when a lot of girls, started DMing you, hey, like this, you started having second thoughts, and most of the artists, they lose their potentials, they
Mhm.
lose their hustle, their works, everything. It demolishes when that thing comes to them. So just want to convey my message to those young artists as well, that when God blesses you fame, should be thankful and try to utilize it in a good way. And of course, man, as an artist, when we are in front of the camera or when we are on the stage, everybody has eyes on us, and of course, like, when you are doing good, everybody wish to be close with you.
Mhm.
But not everybody come with that positive mindset, and we might be thinking, oh yeah, man, they are really going along with us, but at the end of the day, it only costs you.
True.
Tomorrow they'll be gone, your music will also be gone, your hustle will also be gone. So you gotta be wise, and like I said, try to inspire the upcoming generations in a positive way. And of course, as a man, I'm not asking anybody to stop doing drugs, drinks, or anything.
Mhm.
As a man, of course, it's good to have some experience on that. I'm not telling people
You're not
to
preaching.
yeah, but still, then, if you wanna try, then just of course give it a try, but don't make it your habit.
True.
Even me, I'm like that. Even now, I'm not that holy saint. I've been talking about God. I've been talking about all these stuff, but I'm not a holy saint. There are times I like a lot too, but I know when to put limitations to myself.
Mhm.
I don't let those things make it my habit.
True.
But lots of rappers, lots of artists, they came, like, they get connected to a chain like that, to drugs, drinks, and
True.
all these stuff, and at the end of the day, it only costs them. So we should be careful with all those negative stuffs when we are up on the stage or when we are on the spotlight.
Yeah, and most importantly, all these things make you lose focus of
Of course, yeah.
actually why you got into the stage
That's
at
what- that's
first. That is so true. And like, we can also watch or look at so many documentaries of so
Yeah,
many
yeah, yeah.
musicians also.
Yeah, those, most of them, the drugs and girls have been their
Mhm.
downfall, as an artist. So
And those were like some really super talented
of course,
artists
yeah, man,
whose potential were like limitless, but
very much true.
that is true. But like you were saying, you don't need to be a holy saint to just be connected with God.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that is the one of the most important things which people miss out on, be it fame or anything in
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
For example, if you get a good job and you start getting good money,
Yeah.
even that makes you lose focus.
That's what.
But I think the best way we can handle that is being connected with God.
Of course.
Because people try to find inspiration from everywhere else. But then the easiest, for me
No,
personally,
I got
the easiest way to find inspiration is just take out any page of the Bible, man.
you.
There will be
Yeah,
like
man, that's very much helpful.
there will be like some cool words in there, and you can be like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay. So I guess that covers the talk between us for today.
All right.
And I seriously had a good time.
I think so much,
And
and I
then-
had a good time still.
And like, not even kidding, like we had not met before this.
Yeah.
So Psycho K4, Gangsta. So I had all those vibes coming. And then talking to you, you seem a very humble and a down-to-earth guy,
Thanks so
and
much.
very associated with your family, which is also a very beautiful thing to see. And you have a sense of responsibility and not to lose focus, not to get lost in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you do know the real value of friendship.
Yeah.
So that is so good. And Anything that you would like to say to the listeners, to the audience who would be listening and watching you?
All right. I just want to convey some few message to my audience. Most of my audience, I've seen it. I've witnessed that they are usually teenagers, kids, and youngsters who often listen to my music. So I just want to tell them, no, whatever you are pursuing, either it be music or studies or in sports or any field, just give it your 100 and make sure to stay close to God, stay connected to your family. And there will be times, man, even as of now, I face a lot of hardships, man. Even right now at this moment, this music and me, I'm going through a lot as a person, as an artist, but I know that tomorrow holds a better day and I'm working hard. And I know most of y'all who are listening to this, you might be going through a lot right now because of your family problem, because of your career, because of your relationship problem. But don't get caught up in that moment, because when there are good times, bad time comes too, and when there are bad times, good times comes too. So don't lose your focus and keep working on that. And I've been said it in my song, whenever you are feeling depressed, you feel like giving up or anything, always feel free to reach me out. I'm always available on Instagram, so you can DM me anytime if you want to talk out on this stuff. I might not be physically be there for you or solve your problems, but I'll be your friend to listen to you. And lastly, even me as a kid, since my high school to college days, I was always a kid that was left out alone, all right? I was that kid who used to stay in the corner most of the time. That's why I know how it feels being alone, how it feels being left out, and I don't want people to be left out like that. I go out, I perform, people be around me, and okay, I'm thankful to them. At least I met I met them through this music. But looking back at my life, I know how my life been, and when people are left out, when people are lonely and depressed, I feel them. So I don't want them to take any wrong decisions when they are going through that delusional time of mind, So if you are ever going through those stuff, then always feel free to hit me up on my DM on Instagram and talk it out, And also, if you are pursuing well in life, then I wish you more better in life. If you are doing good, then I wish you more well. And if you are going through hardships, then man, I'm sending you my prayers sincerely from my heart. I wish that your life gets better. I wish your tomorrow holds a better tomorrow for you. All right, sending you lots of love. I love you, man.
Thank you so much for those beautiful words again. And to all the listeners, like I was saying, right, just listening to him is like super inspirational, right? So this was Psycho K4, the most promising, and in fact, he has been on the scene for a long time, one of the best rappers from Nagaland music industry. And like I introduced at first, 2 of his songs are nominated for the Music Awards of Nagaland, which we will know about it on the 10th of December this year. And moreover, you can also go watch him live at the same function that will be happening over at Nagaland Bamboo Resource Center, Sovima Chumukedima. So until then, all of you take care. See you soon. Keep tuning into 90.8 Hills FM.
You're listening to 90.8 Hills FM Radio.
This is 90.8 Hills FM radio station, using our voice to rate your choice. Stay tuned.